Here are today's top news happenings and why they matter. Mauritania's former economy minister Sidi is Africa's next superbanker after emerging victorious in the election held in Abidjan, Ivory Coast. He will now succeed Nigeria's Akinwumi Adesina as the head of the African Development Bank. 5 candidates began the contest, but after 3 rounds of voting, Tar emerged victorious. In second place was Zambian economist Samuel Mzela Maimbo. Based in Ivory Coast's economic capital Abidjan, the AfDB is one of the world's largest multilateral development banks and is funded by member subscriptions, loans raised on global markets, as well as repayments and income from loans. DW's Josie Mahachi now tells us what is expected of Tar.
George, it's been a long day, but the election is over. Tar only needed 3 rounds of voting to secure both a majority of votes from all member countries and a majority of votes from African nations. In 2015, it took 6 rounds of voting to elect Adesina as president of the AfDB, which was founded in 1964 and now has 81 members, including 54 African nations. He will now spearhead 5 priorities to light up, feed, industrialize, integrate, and improve quality of life. But he immediately faces a disrupted international economic environment, notably due to announcements from the Trump administration. Beyond tariffs, the bank is also facing the threat of losing $500 million in US funding for its projects to support low-income countries on the continent.
Nigeria's former military leader and ECOWAS co-founder, retired General Yakubu Gowon, is confident that Niger, Burkina Faso and Mali will return to the regional bloc. Speaking at ECOWAS's 50th anniversary celebration, Gowon reflected on the challenges facing the community, including security threats and internal divisions. What do you need to know? ECOWAS is navigating turbulent times with jihadist groups exploiting strained relations between member states and gaining ground in Sahel and Lake Chad regions. Despite these challenges, 90-year-old retired General Yakubu Gowon believes dialogue and openness can pave way for the coup-led nations to reconsider their decision to leave.
Mr. President, I will ask you to please continue not to push them away, but continue to draw them, be open, continue to be open, minded and open-handed to them. And I believe sooner or later they will come in a comeback.
And finally, a U.S. federal court has dealt a significant blow to President Donald Trump's trade war, blocking his sweeping tariffs from taking effect. The ruling has boosted markets despite the White House's plans to appeal the decision, which was criticized as being made by unelected judges. This setback hampers Trump's efforts to reshape U.S. trade relations globally by imposing tough new tariffs to force governments into negotiations. So why does this development matter for African nations? Now, several African countries faced punitive tariffs under Trump's policies. Talking about Lesotho, 50% tariff, one of the highest rates imposed. Angola, 30% tariff. South Africa, 25% on steel and aluminium imports. And Nigeria, 14% tariff on exports to the US, to mention the least. So what happens now? The White House has 10 days to halt the tariffs, although most are currently suspended. The case will proceed through the appeals process. If the appeal is unsuccessful, businesses that pay tariffs will receive refunds with interests. And that's all we had for today. Don't forget to leave a comment and do share, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, DW Africa. My name is George Okachi.